Hey everyone, welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're going to learn a super easy trick to make our sentences much clearer and honestly a lot less repetitive. We'll be mastering something called pronouns. Just think of them as your ultimate toolkit for speaking and writing much better English.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with exactly why we need pronouns, then dive into the personal, possessive, and reflexive types. After that, we'll cover demonstrative, interrogative, and relative pronouns, followed by indefinite, distributive, and reciprocal ones. Finally, we'll clear up some tricky pairs and finish off with a fun pop quiz.
All right, let's jump straight into Section 1, why we actually need pronouns in the first place.
I want you to listen to this really short story. Okay, here it goes. Ria is a student. Ria goes to school every day. Ria loves English. Now, try saying that out loud with me. Doesn't it sound, well, kind of strange to keep repeating Ria's name over and over again? It just feels a little clunky and totally unnatural, right?
And that brings us to our brilliant solution. Instead of saying Ria is a student, Ria is hardworking, we simply change it to Ria is a student, she is hardworking. See what happened there? By just replacing that second Ria with the word she, our sentence instantly becomes so much smoother, natural, and way easier to say.
So the big takeaway here is this really simple definition. A pronoun is basically a word used in place of a noun. It swoops in to replace that noun so we don't have to sound like a broken record. Like in our example, Rahul is my friend. He is very helpful. Rahul is our noun, and he is that superhero pronoun stepping in to save the day.
Okay, let's move right along to Section 2. Personal, possessive, and reflexive pronouns.
First up on our list are personal pronouns. Now, these are the ones you probably use the most every single day. They refer directly to people, animals, or things. We're talking about words like I, we, you, he, she, it, and they. Here's a quick tip. They tell us exactly who is speaking, who is being spoken to, or what we are actually talking about. Like if you say, I am a teacher, or they are playing football.
Next up, we have possessive pronouns. And just like the name sounds, these show ownership or belonging. Words like mine, ours, yours, his, hers, and theirs. They always answer the question, whose. So if someone asks, whose book is this? You can proudly hold it up and say, it is mine.
Our third type is the reflexive pronoun. This one refers back to the subject of the sentence. And there's a really easy trick to remember these. They almost always end in self or selves. Think of looking into a mirror. The action is reflecting right back onto you. So if you're doing an action to yourself, you'd say something like, I hurt myself, or they cleaned the room themselves.
Doing great. On to Section 3, demonstrative, interrogative, and relative pronouns.
Demonstrative pronouns are what I like to call your pointing words. You use these when you want to point to particular people or things right there in your environment. We're talking about words like this, that, these, and those. Imagine actually pointing your finger when you say, this is my book, or those are beautiful flowers.
Now, what's really cool about the word interrogative is that it literally means question. So interrogative pronouns are exactly what you use to ask things. Words like who, whom, whose, which, and what. You're using them all the time when you ask stuff like, who is your teacher? Or what do you want?
Relative pronouns might look a bit like those question words we just talked about, but they have a totally different job. Instead of asking questions, they connect information. They link a clause back to a noun. Take a look at this sentence. The girl who won the race is my sister. That word who is acting like a little bridge, connecting the girl to the awesome fact that she won the race.
We are making great time. Let's look at Section 4, indefinite, distributive, and reciprocal pronouns.
So if you aren't pointing out a specific exact person, you're going to use an indefinite pronoun. Words like someone, anyone, everyone, or nobody. It's called indefinite because the person or thing isn't specifically identified. It's like saying, someone is at the door, or everyone enjoyed the lesson. We don't necessarily need their exact names, we just know they're there.
For distributive pronouns, I want you to keep the phrase one at a time in your head. Words like each, either, and neither fall right into this category. If I were to say, each of the students received a notebook, it means we are focusing on them individually. It's as if I went around the room and handed a notebook to every single student, one by one.
Finally, for this group, we have reciprocal pronouns.
Now, reciprocal just means that both sides do something to each other. It's a mutual relationship. There are two main examples you'll see here, each other and one another. For instance, if the two friends helped each other, it means they both gave help and they both received help.
All right, Section 5, Tricky Pairs Compared. Let's clear up some common confusions.
Let's walk through this systematically, because these can trip you up. First, this versus these. The key thing to remember is that this is for one single thing right near you, while these is for more than one thing near you. Same idea for that and those. That is for one thing far away, and those is for many things farther away. Next up, possessive pronouns show ownership, like saying mine, while reflexive pronouns always bounce back to the subject doing the action, like myself. And lastly, interrogative pronouns are basically detectives. They ask questions. While relative pronouns are more like glue, they connect bits of information right in the middle of a sentence.
Okay, it is time for Section 6, our quiz and final recap.
Let's see if you can identify the pronouns and their types. I'm going to read 5 sentences out loud, and I want you to literally shout out the pronoun and its type right where you're sitting. Are you ready? Okay, number 1, she is my best friend. Number 2, this is my notebook. Number 3, the blue bag is mine. Number 4, everyone was happy. And number 5, I made the cake myself. I'll give you just a brief second to lock in your answers.
Okay, let's see how you did. For number 1, she is a personal pronoun because it tells us exactly who we're talking about. Number 2, this is a demonstrative pronoun because it's pointing to a specific notebook right near us. Number 3, mine is a possessive pronoun, showing ownership of that blue bag. Number 4, everyone is an indefinite pronoun because it refers to a whole group without naming anyone specifically. And number 5, myself is a reflexive pronoun, bouncing the action of baking that cake right back to the subject I. So how many did you get right?
Let's take one last look at our final recap of all 9 types in one place. Just look at how much you've learned in a few short minutes. We started with personal, moved on to possessive and reflexive. We learned exactly how to point with demonstrative, ask with interrogative, and connect with relative pronouns. And we wrapped it all up with indefinite groups, distributive individuals, and reciprocal relationships. That, my friends, is your complete pronoun toolkit.
Understanding pronouns is incredibly important because they make your English clearer, a lot shorter, and so much less repetitive. So I have a final challenge for you today. Try to identify pronouns in the sentences you read and speak every single day. Pay attention to how often you use them without even realizing it. In fact, think about this. What is the one single pronoun you use the most every day without even noticing? Thank you so much for learning with me today, and definitely keep practicing.